to the Dr. Ollie Show. Today I am in the city of Orlando, Florida, where everything pretty much happens. I mean, anyone that you could possibly think of. Hey, Disney World is here. You probably have known somebody in your family to travel here at one time or another. And guess what? I've decided to bring the show here because we have very special guests that have pretty much made a very successful life for themselves, and be able to do special interviews with special guests that have success stories. And we want to talk to them about what it really takes to be successful. And so come with me as I go to them and we just check it out. Let's go together. Come on, let's go. All right, so here we are once again on the Dr. Ollie Show, and I'm sitting here with Miss Gloria Gibson, and she is a licensed real estate agent for the state of Florida. And I wanted to be able to bring this show down here on today to be able to have a discussion and talk about really what it takes to be successful. I mean, I've been knowing you now for a number of years, and you've been very successful throughout the entire, I guess I could say, my lifetime of just, knowing you. So I wanted to know, how did you really get into what you're doing? And just go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell people a little bit about your background, and we'll just go from there.
Okay, well, my name's Gloria Gibson, and I'm a licensed real estate agent, just like you said, for the state of Florida, working in the 5-county area around Orange County, here in Orlando, the city beautiful. And I love working here. So you want to know how I got started?
Yeah.
So this is actually my second career.
Okay.
I came into real estate when I was in my late 50s.
Okay.
I came from a background of computer programming. And the way I even found out about it is that I was taking some courses out at University of Texas at Arlington. And at that time I smoked. I don't smoke now.
Okay.
But at that time I smoked. So I was out in the atrium area because that was just when they first began to put us in an area by ourselves to smoke. We couldn't smoke inside of the building, and that was the beginning of that. So I went out in the atrium area where other people were gathering that smoked during break times.
Yeah.
And I ran into this lady. And so we started talking. She thought she knew me, so she came up to me and she started talking. So she asked me what was I there for, and I said, I'm taking some programming courses. I need to brush up on some programming courses. And then I asked her, I said, so why are you here? And she said, real estate. And that kind of puzzled me, because I didn't know anything about it. At that time, I was young, never purchased a house. I didn't know anything about real estate per se. So she explained to me, so I said, are you selling real estate or are you buying it? And she said, well, I'm doing a little bit of both, but I'm getting the license because you have to be licensed in order to sell it.
Right.
And so I asked her a few more questions, but we were only out there for like 10 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever it takes to finish as a cigarette. And I never saw her again. So
How long ago was that?
I was going to say, so fast forward like 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay. On down into when I was in my late 50s, because that was way back up. I might have been in my late 20s or early 30s.
Okay.
And so fast forward to there, and I wanted to get out of data processing. I was a programmer. I had been a programmer for 30 years. I wanted to get out. I was burnt out. I was doing troubleshooting. I would go into areas and they would already be mad when I get there because their systems are down and everything. And it was, to me, it was a tedious job. And so I wanted to get out of it. And as I started to think about it, it was divine guidance. My scripture that I use all the time is, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
Right, I got you.
So that was what I went for right there. I just started expressing that I wanted to get out of that particular field and I wanted to go into something else. And here comes this thought all the way back, some 30 odd years before, and to different cities in 2 different states, because I met that lady in Arlington, Texas. And now I'm in Winter Springs, Florida, which is a suburb of Orlando. And it came to me. And so I started looking into it. And I found out you can go to school for it. And I got some more information. So immediately, not even a year later, I enrolled in real estate school. And the rest is history. I got my license. I went to work for a brokerage. I stayed on my other job for about 3 years, trying to do real estate part-time. And in the 2007s and 8s, just before the Great Recession, real estate in Florida was going just like it is now. You put a sign out, then it sells.
It was gone, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone, just like it is right now. You know, I got buyers right now that are trying to buy property, and before they put a offer on it, they have like 15 offers sometimes.
So right now, this is your season. So you would say so we're really in the, you know, you say, well, you know, it's a buyer's market. So it's been almost like flipped to where now we're in the seller's market. And
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're in a seller's market now. I attribute everything that I do, my success, to my scripture. That I use.
As far as the Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, that all that ways acknowledge him.
Always acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. And so, here a few years ago, I thought, well, I'm gonna cut down. I'm not gonna do as much real estate, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna
kind of just cut back,
semi-retire.
Okay.
But because I've been in for a length of time, I've been doing real estate now full time for about 16, 17 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
Here in the Orlando area. And so I've helped many people buy and sell homes, and so they keep referring me, which is a good thing. So they keep referring me, so people keep coming. I do very little advertising these days, but they keep coming. I keep helping them. And so now I'm not thinking about retiring.
So everything is like pretty much word of mouth for you?
Yeah, it is word of mouth
or
at this point.
Clients?
Repeat clients.
Okay.
My sphere of influence is where I'm getting my business from right now, because the market is so hot. And the interest rates are so low, then that's why people are really trying to buy houses. And of course, when sellers hear that the buyers are out there like that, they want to sell. So there's lots of market here in this area, and I'm capping on it.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Have you trained any other real estate agents to...
Funny you should ask that.
Okay.
This past year, one of my former clients called me up on the phone just...
And they wanted to do it?
Out of the blue, yeah. She said she had already gotten her license.
Okay.
She had already gotten her license. She had been working at timeshares for 3 years. And she said, I don't like working in timeshares because I have to lie to people. And I don't like doing that, and it's a high-pressure job. She said, I want to go into residential real estate, so can I come to work with you? And I was hesitant because I told you I had started trying to...
Semi-retire.
Yeah, semi-retire.
Yeah.
And so every time I would say, I'm going to quit, she said, please don't quit. You've got to teach me.
Wow.
Now, I sold her a house. Okay. I sold her mother-in-law a house first, and her mother-in-law referred her to me, and I sold her a house. So I told her, I said, okay, you can come to my brokerage, Coa Banker, and you can see if you like it there. So she went there, and they told me after she left there, she spent her time there singing my praises. And so then when she left, they made her, they took her into the brokerages and everything, and still she wanted to work with me. So finally I said, okay, you can work with me. So right now she is a real blessing. She helps me tremendously. She does my footwork. If I sign a client, I can always depend upon her to carry it through. She does the showings, and she does whatever else I needed to do. So that was a blessing. Her name is Lindsay Stoggle. I'll put her name out there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And she's great. She's great. She helps me.
So with you doing real estate currently now, would you say that this has been, because I heard you, let me just put it like this. I heard you say a moment ago that you're not looking to retire at all. And so, you said 17 years, but then I'm just putting numbers with it. You said that you pretty much worked for 30 years before that right there.
You want to know how old I am?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm 75.
So you're 75.
Yes.
Okay, and you're still going just like you was at day one with this real estate. So,
Absolutely, but I have help. I have
so
help.
you formed a team of people to be able just to kind of
No,
help.
one time I tried at one of the brokerages I was at. They made me a mentor.
Okay.
And so I had other people that were mentoring under me, but it didn't work out so well. I would say maybe, I don't know. I always say I'm a fly by the seat of my pants person.
Okay.
So the only way to learn from me is just to walk with me. I can't sit down and just teach you real estate. The best way to do it is to walk with me. And if you walk with me, I'm going to have to pay you. So that's the better way that I work. Instead of mentoring people and then getting a percentage of what they make,
Gotcha.
then they come over, like this is the first person I had that really, I've had people work for me before in administrative type things, keeping up with how I correspond with my clients and things like this. But Lindsay, now she's actually a real estate agent. Those other people were not real estate agents. They were administrative people.
Yeah.
But Lindsay now is a real estate agent. So she's able to do everything that I can do. So she's able to walk with me. She works with me. She does, she does what I need her to do. So that's the way people learn that I'm able to teach people.
More hands-on training.
Yeah, you have to walk with me. There's no way I can do it by outlining things for you and you follow that outline. That's just not my way.
Gotcha. Okay.
And you want to be like other people. I wish I could be like that, but I'm not that way. I always say, my husband said, well, remember, you fly by the seat of your pants, and I do. That's how I operate.
Gotcha. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut to a commercial break just for a moment.
Okay.
And then when we come back, then we're going to tap in just a little bit more on the real estate side of just elaborating and telling people about the work. And I know you kind of laid the foundation about what real estate has been, somewhat to you, but now as far as like on the work side, because a lot of people, they may be looking to be able to get into it and they don't know the pros and cons and the do's and don'ts and some of the inside things of like, hey, if you really want to do this right here, of how effective it can be, how successful it can be, and also the challenges of it. So we're going to take a commercial break and then we'll be back right after this.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we're back once again, and I'm here sitting with Miss Gloria Gibson, and she's a licensed real estate agent who has been giving us her life story of how she actually came into real estate and how it really came about for her. So I said when we came back, we were going to dive in a little bit more on the side of we'll just say the pros and cons, the success side of real estate, and you were about to get ready to fill me in on something, so just dive in with that of when we look at real estate and then how, I guess we could say, people when they get into it, really maybe what their mindsets are and if they know what they're walking into or if it's really more surprises.
Well, if they've ever sold a house,
Okay.
if they've ever bought a house, they have seen the final HUD statement or the final ALTA that comes out. So they see the income of the real estate agent from that particular transaction. They see how much you're making. So when they see that number, a lot of them get excited because it is a lot of money.
Okay.
But it's a lot of work. Not only that, you have a broker, and there's splits. There's different things they don't know about.
When you say it's a lot of work, like what kind of work? I mean, is it because I'm not in real estate. Like I've done some things as far as like, we'll just say maybe flipping homes. That's nothing like you guys. I mean, this is your livelihood.
Right.
So when we say that it's a lot of work, I would just think that, hey, I mean, like you said, you got
Somebody
a client.
jumps
They need,
out there
they need a house. I mean, you look at it. Okay, this is what it's going to cost, and you just put together a couple numbers, whatever, and there it is. I mean, so it's not that simple.
First of all, where you get the client from?
I mean,
that's a big deal right there.
Okay.
That's a huge deal. That's a
Okay.
huge part of it right there to any real estate agent starting out. And
Okay.
remember, I'm seasoned. I've done it well.
Yeah.
So I've sold over 200 homes right here in Seminole County. So, and the better you are with your clients, the more they're going to return.
Okay.
So with me, the whole thing is just keeping up with my clients so they know that I'm still selling real estate, because that's what I get when they call me. Miss Gloria, are you still selling real estate? Of course. What would I be doing?
Yeah.
But starting out, you don't have that base. So you've got to take some time. You've got to find people who want to buy or who want to sell. A lot of times you buy leads from, well, one, you first got to go to school.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to school, you get your license, and then now you sign with a brokerage, so now you're ready to get rich, right?
Right.
But it doesn't work that way. You got to find somebody that's willing to buy or willing to sell. They have different ways you can do that. You can sign with some of these companies that will give you leads, and that's expensive. You can buy leads. At one time, back early on when I first started out, my husband tell you that, I was spending $1,000 a month.
Oh, just getting
bringing leads.
Wow. Did it work for you?
It worked, but
okay.
So what you have to do is learn to follow up on the leads. Now, when I first started, a lot of them fell through the crack because I really didn't know how to keep up with them, and I didn't know how to sell myself. But as I progressed, I'm spending anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a month in order to make it work.
Yeah.
Because $100 a month is not going to bring me. Now I'm talking about way back when I first started. Even now, you know, if you want to buy some leads, you're going to have to come up off some money. Somebody called me the other day. They were a lead generator, and they went through how they set you up and how they guarantee these leads and everything.
Yeah.
And then so I just said, how much? I don't do that anymore. But I just was curious. He said $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Just to set it up.
And I mean, I know it's beneficial for him, but I mean, would you say that's a good deal or not?
You
really,
never can tell. You never can tell if you're getting a person that's really going to do what they say that they're going to do. Or if you're getting a shyster that is just telling you that, and then once you get in, you sign a contract. All of them make you sign a contract, or the majority make you sign a contract. You're in it for 6 months. You're tied into it. So you're paying this money out to like Zillow.
So it's almost like a PR firm or whatever that you just doing it and hoping that they're going to do what they say that they're going to do.
Exactly. Okay. You go on word of mouth a lot of times because other realtors will tell you that this one is a good source or this one is not a good source to generate leads. Sometimes your brokerage will give you leads, but when the brokerage gives you leads, you wind up making very little money because it's their lead and you got to pay them from what you make from that particular sale. But that I would say that's your main problem is how do you get your leads? You got to get them from somewhere.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to pay money to get them. Unless now you got people that live in a city and they're selling real estate in that city. They graduated high school there and they go to church there and everything.
So
they reach out to those people.
Yeah.
They got to reach them because see, I remember early on when I first started selling real estate, a very good friend of mine, I had a housewarming, whatever, party. And so I went there and I saw the for sale sign in her yard. Now I'm a real estate agent and we're good friends. I went to her house and I said, you selling your house? She said, yes. I said, why you didn't call me? She said, I don't think of you like that.
Oh.
See, I just had started in real estate, but I hadn't done the groundwork.
So she didn't
See, when
respect
you know people, you just have to get out there and let those people know that you are selling real estate. So I think if you went to school in a city, you go to church in that city, and you know people, I think if you reach out to them, get them on some kind of call grid or call them up, and some people will say, I don't want to call, I haven't talked to them since high school. So you get boldness like that once you've been a real estate agent for a while.
And then when you say boldness, it also brings into a point, if you're not making any money, it almost forces you to be bold to a certain degree, right?
Absolutely, because you get paid on commission.
So let's talk about that right there for a moment. As far as with the commission side of it, would you say what's like probably the least amount that you've made on a home?
I'll sell anything. I mean, you know, I'll sell anything, and I sell some houses that I don't find them now, but right now I sell houses in the $200,000 range.
Oh wow, okay.
$300,000 range, $400,000. Where I usually stop off at is $500,000.
Okay.
Now I know that there are real estate agents that go high, but that's my comfort zone.
So have you ever sold a house over $1 million?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And like still commission on that right there is still roughly around about 3 to 5%.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
That's what people see.
Yeah.
See, if you bought a house, or if you sold a $1 million house, and you saw that commission, that 3% there, on that line, you went, wow. This is what I need to be doing.
Because it's like $30,000 to $50,000.
Exactly.
So you bring all that in at one time, and it's like I don't even have to sell any more houses for maybe 3 more months. And
but here's the thing. You
Okay.
you have to be a very good budgeter.
Okay.
Because suppose you sell that and then all of a sudden you go dry and you're dry for 6 months or you're dry. See, there's no guarantee in real estate that you're going to be able to pull it.
Right.
So that is what people have to understand. Now, when I went into real estate full time, I was okay. I could make it a year. And that's what I tell people to do. You need savings to up to a year, I would say, where you can live without being dependent upon your real estate, because you're building a business.
Gotcha.
So if you save up that money, or however long you think you can go, I was ready for a year. My husband and I were prepared for me to learn during that year and get hooked up with a seasoned real estate agent that can help you. I worked for a lady in real estate when I first started out for months without any pay. She didn't pay me nothing.
And you were just doing the work.
I go to her house, I sit down with her, she show me what she's doing. I make the runs for her when she needed something done. She was doing a bunch of foreclosures.
Yeah.
And so, now I wouldn't do foreclosures again, but that was hard doing foreclosures,
Okay.
because people cry and you cry. But she was doing foreclosures, and she had a surplus of business, and there were some things I asked her, and she said, sure. I went to her house every day for, I'll say about 3 months, maybe.
Oh, wow.
And then she went overseas, and while she was gone, I handled her business because I had been working with her that long. Right now, today, everything I do is still set up based upon what I learned from her.
Oh, okay.
So if you can be ready to be without your weekly salary, your monthly salary, or however you get it,
Right.
and you're willing to sit under someone with or without pay. If they don't pay, you sit anyway.
Yeah.
And then you learn. And from that, you learn how to build your business. Once you get it going, it basically runs itself. That is, if you do a good job. Now, if you try to force people to buy houses that they don't want to buy, or just because you're trying to make the money, you wouldn't believe what I see. You know, I had the other day I was looking at, in order to get insurance on a house, you have to have older house, you have to have a 4-point. You know, houses that are over 10, 15 years old, you have to have an inspection. It has to be 4-point. Sometimes the real estate agent will get together with the inspector and they'll force something. Like I saw one the other day where the house was reported to the insurance company and they didn't show that the house has cloth wiring. There's no insurance in Florida that will insure a house with cloth wiring, but they pushed it through anyway. Now, I'm not calling them crooked. It might have just gotten overlooked.
Right.
But there are some agents that will push their clients into a deal.
With that, and still not, they know that, hey, this is...
They know something is lacking.
Right.
And still, they'll push the deal because they need the money.
And yeah.
But if you do that after so long, you're going to get a reputation, and you're not going to get anybody. I try to treat all my clients right. I try, even if I even tell them, if I sell you a house, and within 18 months after I sell it to you, for any reason, you don't like it, I'll sell it for free.
Oh, wow.
But I also have a stipulation to that. If I sell that house for free, you have to buy another one from me.
Oh, okay.
So, but I want to be fair with people, and so that's how I work. And I go out of my way, and any client that I've ever had to tell you that I'm telling the truth, I go out of my way to help my people, and that's why they're still coming. That's why they're coming today, is because I have done everything I can within my power to get them in the house that they want for the price that they want, without pushing them into something that they really don't want.
So you really plan on doing this till you die?
Absolutely. There's no reason why I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been...
Till I die.
I mean, I'm just... Wait, you say you're 75. You're like, I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. So, I mean, if it's another 15 years, hey, here it is.
Yeah.
Eventually, you may make the news of, hey, we have the oldest real estate agent in the city of Orlando.
Yes,
So-
I might make it there one day, but I don't plan on quitting, because real estate, as long as I have someone to help me, I don't want to go out and stay all day looking at houses I have a limit. During the day, I will show you 4 houses. I'm not going to go show you 8 like I did when I was in my earlier years. I would stay out all day. I don't do open houses anymore. I'm selective.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, you can do that because
yeah.
you built up as far as that. I see what you're
So
saying.
long as I can be selective in what I do and I can have a great partner like Lindsay,
Yeah.
you know, I'm good.
Great. Okay, so in conclusion, I mean, it's been a really great conversation with you, just learning about what you do, as well as just talking to people about how to be able to be successful at this right here. So, what would be some final words that you would like to be able to leave with individuals that may be watching, our viewers, on what it really takes to be able to be successful in this right here?
Well, I think if I would try to, if people come to me and they talk about real estate and they want to know how they get into it and everything, and then what I recommend is that you actually maybe walk with the real estate agent, see what they have to, see what they go through, see if you can.
If they really want to do it.
If you really want to do it, I mean,
Gotcha.
because you're looking you're looking at the dollars.
Yeah.
And so you're looking at the dollars, but you really don't know what the work entails. So if you tag a real estate agent, and most real estate agents will let you do that, if you just tag along with them for maybe a month or so in your spare time, then you can see, is this really something I want to do?
Yeah.
And then if you can look at the income, and you can see how sporadic sometimes it is, then if you can live with that, then you can be a real estate agent.
Okay. Well, there you have it again, Miss Gloria Gibson, licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, Texas. I mean, I said Florida, Texas. It's in the state of Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, so you know it's all
And
inside
also
of my
Orlando, Florida, and all surrounding areas.
all surrounding
Yes.
areas. Okay, because it's all for Florida. You're licensed to be able to sell.
I'm licensed to sell in Florida, but I mostly stay within, I guess, a 50-mile range of Orlando.
Okay.
There's 5 counties here, and so I cover those 5 counties.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, there we have it once again, and I want to thank you for coming to be a part of the show.
Oh, you're just so welcome. Thank you for having me.